So then we pick up these pieces from the precast plant, and this is now moving them outside where they're then cleaned. And so a number of you were understandably concerned, will this thing stand up when we have hurricanes, which we have? And the answer is yes. This is structurally engineered with sealed drawings, which Hillary has in her file. And how we did that was to dig a hole. We made sure the bottom of the hole is very strong and not corrupted by the old roots of the tree, which makes for soft soil. We don't have that. We have very solid soil that far down. And then we put up the structural pole that's designed to withstand lateral loads of 110 mile an hour wind. And then this is the key. Notice all the steel under there. That's a lot of steel, which then is filled up with concrete that's very level. And then, once that's cured, behold, on a Sunday morning, this semi-truck showed up with a little over 40,000 pounds of art. So we first got them off the truck so the truck can go home and have breakfast. And all the many hands and shackles and bolts and things, this is all very technical. We can screw into it and have a safe way of lifting them. We lifted them off horizontally, and many of you were here, and you'll remember they came up horizontally and rotated in the air and then hung vertically. So first goes one piece, and the crane has the piece, only the crane can lift the dead load of 12,000 pounds-ish, or maybe a little more. But then we had to transfer, once it's on the ground, so it's not a dead lift, but then these big forklifts have the capacity to move it around, which was key. And so here comes the second one. And notice that that's a straight line that has to align very precisely times 3, because there's 3 of those seams. This is the hardest piece I've ever installed because of that. 3 straight lines that want to be 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch apart all the way up, not nothing at the bottom and 2 inches at the top. That would look Bush League, don't you think? So I have to credit this miraculous encounter with one Tom Johnston, who happened to be putting up a parking deck for 6 months over near the arena somewhere. And I knew of him and called him up, and he said, "Yeah, I can do this on a Sunday." And he studied it, we looked at it together, and he's the one who said you need 2 forklifts plus a crane so that everything is fluid until it's set. And we would have gotten it up without him, but it probably would have taken 3 or 4 days. It wouldn't have surprised me. He was unbelievably skilled at taking 12,000 pounds-ish, 3 things that are leaning out that have to meet precisely on the ground and then lean into each other so that those 3 lines are straight. If you notice his hand, right there, his hand he'd stick out a finger or a thumb, and the crane guy could read that. And he very precisely directed that crane to get these things in place in a amazing short amount of time. God provides. And Tom Johnston showed up. And I will have to tell you that has occurred That has happened to me in the 40-some years I've been doing this kind of crazy stuff, that these saints show up